Hello, welcome to my YouTube channels. This is your stop point for all computer-related knowledge. If you are new to this channel or you have not subscribed, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
So in today's video, I want us to look at coding with Scratch program. So what is Scratch? If we start there, so this is a block-based programming language that you normally use to teach children and beginners how to code. So a Scratch program looks like this, and what we normally do is that you take a block of code, and then you put it in this part. So it's just simple as creating the games that you normally create. So use those block of code that are able to interlock with one another, creating a project. So how do you start the Scratch program in your computer? So there are two ways. So the first one, you could go to the internet, you search for Scratch, and then you go to the website, and then you'll be able to start it online. The second way is, if you have Scratch installed in your computer, you'll find an icon that looks like this one. You just double click the icon in your computer, and then you'll be able to open the Scratch program so that you can start coding. So the next thing that we're going to look at is the parts of a Scratch program, so that you can know where to click, so that you can be able to perform something. So I had made a screenshot of the Scratch program, so you're going to go there. So basically a Scratch program looks like this, and you're going to look each part. So the first part that you're going to look at is the file. So this file menu. So under this menu, you'll find that you can be able to create a new project. So a file created with Scratch is called a project. So you can be able to create a new project. So to create a new one, you just click there. So you can also be able to load the project from your computer. So if you had created a project in your computer and then you want to access that project, you can just click the second option. Then once you are through with the coding, or you can save your project to your computer so that you can be able to retrieve it later. Then we have this other part here called the tutorials. So this is part of Scratch that will give you the tutorials or the material that you can use to learn how to code. For example, if you come here, then you click on tutorial, you'll be able to access all the tutorials or the projects that have been created by other people that you can use or that can guide you how to code. For example, if you come to this one, so you just follow the steps, so step by step. So it will tell you to put this code like that, and then once you are done with that, you'll be able to create such a project. We also have another part here called so we have these circles here, all of them with different colors. So these circles are called the block categories. So the area that I have highlighted is called the block categories, and you'll find that under each code block, or under each block category, we have code blocks. So these will come to this one that are related to this block. Okay, so that when you click on motion, you'll get all codes that you can use to make your sprite. You'll come to sprite, don't worry. If you get a new term, we'll come to that one later. So you'll find that if you can use one of these under the motion to be able to move the sprite from one position to another, or maybe change direction. Then you have the look. So this one is what you can get under the look and the things that you can be able to code. You also have the sound that you can use, and you'll find that each sprite will have its own sound. For example, when you're using this one, it has meow sound because it is a cat. So if you add another one, you'll get that it has its own sound that you can use. Then you have the event. So when you talk about event, you're talking about the things that you do so that your project can start working, or that your code can start working. For example, when you say, maybe when you click on the green flag is here. So when you click on this, you can put a code that the object can start working. So when you press any key on the keyboard, what will happen? All of this will come to iterate, and then you have control. So the controls, we have the controls, that is the if then, wait until, repeat until. Then you have the loop, so how many times do you want your project to run, and after which condition. Okay. Then you have sensing, so when you want to get something from the user, when you want the code to sense maybe a color, maybe a name, something like that. Then you have the operators. So these are the mathematical and logical operators. So you can use them to add, to minus, to multiply, to do all those things. Then you can put the condition if greater than, smaller, less than, equals to, add, all, not. So all those conditions that you can use. Then you have the variables. And variables are just the location where you can be able to keep some data so that you can use it in your project. Then you can also be able to create your own block. And finally, we have the extension under. So this one you can come and add other codes that you can be able to use in a project. Like you can code music, you can use a pen maybe to draw something, you can sense. So all these are things that you can do with Scratch. So once we know the block categories that we have, then the next thing that we are going to look at is the block, the code blocks. They are normally found here, and they are related to the block category that you have selected. So if you come here and then you click on maybe the motion, you'll find that we have the block, the code block related to the motion. So these are what we are calling the code blocks. Then you have this other area here. So this is the area here, the whole of this, even here, the whole of this area. So this one is called the coding area. So you can call it the coding area or the script area. So the coding or the script area, this is where you normally put your code when you are coding. So you just take a code from here, a code block from here, and then you put it on the coding area. Then if you come here, you have these two buttons. We have the green flag. This one is used to start a project, and remember, for it to start, you have to use when the green flag is clicked. Then you have the stop button. So this one is stop in a project that is running. Then we come here, we have this character here. This looks like a cat. And this one is called a sprite. So it's not a sprite that you normally drink. It's not a drink, but it's just the name for. So it's called a sprite. And this is the character that you always perform the action or the code that you have created. Then from there, we have this area, the whole of this area behind the sprite. So where the sprite normally performs the action is called the stage. So it's called the stage. Okay, the area behind the sprite where the sprite will perform the action. The whole of this area that you can see here is called the stage. So sometimes you'll find an image behind the sprite. So sorry for that one. So you'll find an image behind the sprite, like this image that we have. This one is called the backdrop. So the image behind the sprite is called the backdrop. Then we have this area below the sprite. So the whole of this. And this one is called the sprite info. So just a sprite and info. This one will give you information about the sprite, maybe the name of sprite, the position of the sprite, that is on X. That is, when you talk about X, we are talking about horizontally, where is the sprite. So when you move horizontally, where is your sprite, at which position? Okay, so this is what you are calling the X. Then you have Y, and the Y is vertically, where is your sprite? Maybe it is here. So we have the X and you have the Y position of your sprite. Then we have, you can be able to choose to show your sprite, or you can hide it. Then you have the size of the sprite, so you can change this one to make it bigger by increasing the value, or to make it smaller by reducing the value. Then you have the direction, so these are the angles, maybe at 90 degrees, at 45 degrees, so you'll come to that one. Then below here we have another area where you normally have the sprites that you have used in our project. So you can have more than one sprite in your project, and they will be displayed at the area. So this one is called the sprite list. Then, so those are the major parts. So we also have this button here that you normally use to upload a new sprite, and come to that one. So we go to project, and then we see. So if you want to remove the sprite, the active sprite, what do? You just click on the delete button above the sprite. So you click that one and the sprite will disappear. So if you want to add a new sprite in your project, you click here, and then you can upload a sprite. So to upload is, maybe you have created a sprite in your project in a computer, and then you want to use it in your project, so you just upload. Then you can have a sprite. So this one gives you a random sprite. Then you can also paint. So when you click paint, the sprite project will give you an option to draw your sprite. You can draw like this one, just and also you can be able to upload or choose a sprite from the sprite list, and you'll find that this one will give you all the sprite. But if you have a specific category of sprite, you can just choose maybe animals, maybe people, maybe fantasy, maybe dance, music, all of this, and it'll give you the sprite related to that category. So we go to people, we just choose one, and then your sprite will come to your project. Then you have this one for the backdrop. It looks like the same, so you can upload the one that you have created in your computer. You can get a supply. So this one gives you a random backdrop. You can also paint a backdrop, or you can choose a backdrop. So you can choose another backdrop like that. So far so good. So now that we know what is Scratch program and what you can do with Scratch program and the parts of a Scratch program, we are going to code our first project. And remember, with Scratch program you can be able to create things like animation. You can also be able to create a presentation, all those things that you can do. And the thing that I want us to code is something very simple. We'll just use 3 or 5 blocks of code and all will be done. So I want us to create a sprite to dance on the screen with some beats. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to the backdrop, and you're going to choose backdrop, and you're going to choose the one that looks like disco or something related to music. So we can look for it. So you're going to look for a backdrop that looks like a disco or somewhere where people can be able. So you're going to use the concert backdrop. Okay. Then the next thing we're going to use is we're going to add a sprite. And the sprite that you're going to choose under the dance category. And then you're going to use one of these. So we can just use this girl here. Okay. So we have our girl. Remember with what we said about the sprite info, you can change the size. So this one I'm going to change from 100 to 70 so that it can be a bit smaller, like that. So now we have a girl there, and we have our stage where we'll be playing the music. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to code. So you're going to go to event, and you're going to start with a click event. So when you click the green flag, what is going to happen? Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to put a control, and because we want our project to run forever, so to keep on running until you stop or until you press the stop button. Then the next thing that you're going to go to the look, because if you look at the customs, so the dance move are just the sprite changing the customs. Okay, so you can see those moves. So instead of putting them one by one, so you can just use, so you're going to say next custom, so it keep on changing. So after once it's going to put the other custom like that, you'll be able to see. And then we want this one to wait for just 0.4 second. You can change the time to put the one that you want. So if now we press or we play our code, you'll find that C is dancing, okay, but something's missing. So you're going to add some music. So you're going to add another event. So when the green flag is clicked, remember this one and this one do the same thing, then you're going to hear some sound. And just like I said, each sprite will have its own sound. So you're going to use these play dance music, and also we want this one to run forever, so you're going to put it there. So now you can learn the code to see what will happen. So you can feel the coordination, the music is playing, and also the girl is dancing. So that is a simple project that you can create, right? Just for fun and also to understand the things that you can do. That is all for today. Remember to follow, to subscribe, to like, to comment, and also under the comment you can like the next project that you think I should be doing, or if I should be doing more a project on Scratch, or I just should stop. Thank you for your time.